All right, so I said, good evening. Welcome to Deep Hour here on Truth 96.1 with Dr. Abraham Dasaman Sellu, the executive director of this program, who is already in studio already. It's also live on via TV. So, for those of you monitoring the radio, you can just go on Facebook, Truth FM via TV page, and follow all the activities from the main studio. My name is ANSU, the crossover to Dr. Sellu. There, you could take full control. There are studio too. Welcome, Dr. Sellu.
Okay, good evening once again. It's wonderful to be here to play our nationalistic responsibility. Um, Again, I'm Dr. Abraham Dasamasiu the First, the Executive Director of the Democracy and Empowerment for Economic Progress. DEEP. DEEP is a civil rights nationalistic organization propagating the true sense of nationalism and the call to national duties. Deep's goal is to Liberianize Liberia and ensure Liberia becomes an industrialized state, with its citizens being economically empowered irrespective of their tribe, their educational level, background. So Deep can be follow us on Deep National Hour Facebook page. That's the DEEP National Hour Facebook page. Okay, so to follow us up, you can go strictly to Deep National Our Facebook page. That will link you strictly to this show and see how you can get connected and see where we are going today. So there are a couple of things we gotta be looking at as Deep Bueno wants to see a Liberia of opportunities for Liberians, a Liberia for opportunities for Liberians. There are a lot of things we need to stop in this country, and if we don't stop it, our children, we will be giving the justification why our children should become what they are and what they will be. Because if the parents are unable to set the foundation on which their children will grow or develop on, it means it's a shame to have a generation that having understood our own nationalistic responsibility. Um, to be a citizen of a country is not just the issue of being born there. Your parents have been born in that country. There are more responsibility that citizens need to pick up than just just aligning to the fact that you from one of the ethnic groups in that particular country, and it is by that particular right of mentality that you want to claim your citizenship. In modern democracy, there is something we always say. We say that it's a popular saying in democracy that you get the government you deserve. Okay, it is something that is common in a free society, that you get the government you deserve. You get the government you deserve. Okay, so for democracy to succeed, citizen must be active. Citizen must be involved. Okay, not passive, nationalistically driven, not emotionally driven. Now, there are lots of times in this country people do things based on emotion, sentiment. I love it. I love this particular person. I want to do this. The the foundation of this country is completely poor. It's very weak. There is no system in our foundation. The citizens have not been taught the responsibility of what it means to be citizen. If I open this line right now to ask people what it means to be a citizen of a country, people will start to opinionate. I know people give their own opinion that may not be standard, that may not be appropriate, but that's how they just see citizenship. If you're going to be asking concerning their responsibility to the country, those things that they must do, you also notice that many people do not even understand that in order for a society to prosper, it means that the citizens themselves should have developed in their minds that it is good to prosper, and the only way we have prosperity, which is never ever cheap, okay, it's never ever cheap. It is important that the society be able to get engaged. Get engaged, meaning, as you say, that the people, the government, the people get is what they deserve. If you have a government that is corrupt, it means that the people themselves tolerate corruption. Okay? If you have a government that is very progressive, very civil, responsible, fighting corruption and other ill practices in the community, it means that the society itself doesn't tolerate those kind of counterproductive behaviors. Instead, the society is ensuring that the right things work. But in the Liberian context, where you see in other society, the citizen put pressure on government to be answerable to them. In Liberia, people try to defend the government instead of asking the government to provide information or clarity on things. So at the end of the day, as long as you are from party A, and this particular and the current government is party A, people will defend party A government to the letter, forgetting to know that they may think they are doing the appropriate thing, but they are doing it out of illiteracy. Also, they are doing it not from a nationalistic anger, it is from an emotional anger. And this have deteriorated the growth pattern of this country for years. Because when government is being pressurized to do the right thing, whether if you from a party or not, Liberians must be able to see things in the same way. I know there will be diversity, which we understand, but when talking about the same way, it means that the country must have a national agenda that every person in the country has been trained, have been educated, and are all pursuing a particular path. But 176 years, the entire country hasn't even placed an agenda or have an ambition or have a goal or something like a national identity that Liberians are noted for. We carry a color called red, white, and blue. The color rank signifies that it is a group of people that consistently get engaged in ensuring that the right things are done. Do we have that in this country? I will tell you, say, hell no. You see, if you have a country and you are the citizen of that country, it becomes your responsibility to, first of all, think about the development of that country, how you can spearhead that development agenda, how you can control your economy, because the Constitution provides for that, and make sure that everything that undermines your development as citizen be completely fought. All right, that's the reason why you have red. That continuous act of ensuring you are advocating, you are standing, you are fighting against those bad practices and making things work the way they should work. But amazingly, if you turn to Liberia, you see a country that even people who came in this country, who are now in this country as traders and investors, company owners and store owners, you see that there is a disparity between Liberian workers and non-Liberian workers. You see that foreigners have more respect in this country than Liberians, simply because there is no consistent pattern, there is no behavioral pattern that is completely attached to Liberian. They're being coward and talk plenty. The citizens are not being trained, okay, to defend the red, to stand for the right. Symbolism is very, very important to every society. Everything, you cannot be wearing a married ring, your band, which is symbolistic, and you are not acting like a married man. It's just the same way. You can't be a country carrying red and you are not pursuing the act and actions that will ensure that the right things are done. But one of the fundamental weaknesses of this country is there is no sense of direction. that the country is completely plying on. We are doing things just the way we feel they do it. We are not more nationalistic. Instead, we are more, emotionalistic. Let me place it that way. Okay, everybody think about I, me, myself, and things that connect me, and let me see where I can connect somebody who can also buttress my interest. Not forgetting, I'm forgetting to know that if you have a country that is basically individualistic, it means that country is bound to fail. And Liberia is a failed state because the citizens of themselves have not understood that an individualistic spirit does not carry the country up. So if we must stand as a country being nationalistic, and we carry the color red, it means that things like these that we are seeing in our community, in our society, where we see foreigners have more rights, have more dominance, have more preference to almost everything in this country, and citizens of this country are seated and can't do anything. It is a nationalistic disgrace. It is a nationalistic disgrace because it's a counteract, because it's something that you are supporting. It means you have put nationalism at the stake. Nationalism is your love. It's a love for the country that causes you to stand up and refuse to see the wrong thing happening against another Liberian, against this country. We have had so much corrupt leaders in the past who have never chosen to give Liberia a strong sense of nationalism, a strong sense of patriotism. How do you build your society so your society can love the country? The society cannot use their funding or educational power to do things for their own profit. Instead of people will be driving to the interest of the country. But we see people are more parted, you know, they have more support to their parties, to their politicians than to the country. Party loyalty is strong. Not you don't have country loyalty in this country. Not at all. So you have a society that anybody who entered Liberia will quickly understand. I know that you have a weak society that is easily penetrable. You can penetrate this country so easy because you don't have a society that lives like a homogeneous body. No system in this country, no group of organizations that work together so strongly and cement in under this nationalistic drive. Everybody's split. Record unions are weak. Business associations are weak. Pressure groups and other things are weak because there is no cohesive nature among these groups. Everybody just want to be in their own cluster and see how to survive, forgetting to know the common good of the society will rest on how collective efforts are being utilized. You know, the old people have this parable. They say if you give you a straw of a broom, you can break it easily, but when they group it together, they give it to you, you'll be unable to break it. And that is very true. Very true. Okay? Because if you have a society that is not working together, like the Liberian society, you have 15 ethnic groups that are not working together. You have a county that sometimes will be even divided against itself. You see everybody going their own way. It's simply because there is no foundation in our society. We have this, the writing of our constitution is good. You see that the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia will say that we exercise our natural, inherent, and inalienable rights to establish a framework of government, to establish a framework of government for the purpose of the first thing that has been placed there for the purpose of promoting unity. It's the government fighting to ensure that the society unites, that unity become proud in this country. It's not about making speeches. Those are reckless acts to politics. Because politicians always try to politicize things, say things just to be sentimental so that people can get something to bite on. And at the end of the day, there's nothing they can reap out of it. You don't have a society that the government trying to build a strong society where in the form of education is so strong that people coming from that particular environment, when you are school in Liberia, then you come out with that certain mindset. But we don't have it. Our curriculum does not come with a strong nationalistic drive. It doesn't. It doesn't even promote our culture that should interpret our morals and values. So you see that you have a weak society because the government see it, because the government is insensitive. Okay? It's very much. And they are wrapped into corruption to the extent that they do not want to empower the connective ability of its citizens so that they can be able to exploit massively their ignorance and limitation to their advantage. It's difficult for you to exploit a strong connective society. It's so difficult because when the people are properly schooled, and the foundation is properly built, it's difficult for you to manipulate them. And government does not want that. So we're having up to current, we're having bad administrations. Very bad. I have not heard up to current any pronouncement or effort for pronouncement. Oh, I don't even care about that because they say things that are far from reality. They say things they can do. And the Liberian society always fall because the Liberian society does not, follow after people to see whether their words resemble and them. So when a lot of people sing praises about individual, they flow. And that undermines whether or not we even have an educated class in the society. Could you imagine? From 1889, you've been talking about higher education. Up to now, you don't have those things that show that higher education have actually been in this country for more than 100+ years. You have enjoyed higher education for over 120 years. Countries that have come after you, that came to learn from your university and other things, they are far better. They are producing university and colleges that are being ranked among the best universities in Africa. But none of the universities even among the top 200. None. Development is painful. If any government wants to bring about change, you have to straighten up the way the people think, what gets in their head. That's the reason why in developed countries, the government is so careful of who teach and what is being taught. But our society is so reckless that people go about deciding what to be taught. So money have entered into the educational system so terribly. You monetize education and you have dilute all the standards. Those things that should bring out a good country, a great nation, are all lost, absent from your learning. So what do the younger generation bring into the society? What training, what morals, what society values? What are those nationalistic principles? What do they know? So you see a young man, and then say the day I enter government, I will eat my own. He's saying it out of ignorance. What you do instill in your citizens, you then expect to get them out of them when they are much older. That's the reason why I say, in order for this country to change, you need a strong, educated, rational, radical leader, a strong educational nationalist, a radical leader who will come and try to turn the wheels around. It will hurt a lot of people, but put the country on the right trajectory. Put the country on the right footing. The country is not on the right footing. You know, I know. Those of us who have traveled, you will know that just by interaction with the ordinary person on the streets of Liberia, you know fully where the country is weak. Just interact. The mindset is not even defined. Everybody has a different opinion about everything, and nothing concerns the country. But we think that this country will become better by keep yearning for change. You can never get what you don't deserve. That's why the popular saying that a society get what they deserve. When you change the way you conduct yourself, you change the way you elect people, then it means you want to change the course of actions of your life. But if you think that you'll do the same old thing over and again and expect to get a different result, you can add another 176 years to the current 176 years you have. Because it never works. No matter how many times you will mix and the water with sugar, you will never get salt water. No matter how many times. If you want to get salt water, you got to use your water and your salt. So if you want a good leadership, it means that you got to forget about those biases that undermine true democracy. Things then like my party. So whoever comes on my party, I will vote for him. Party mandate. Things then my kinsman, my uncle, they may give me money, give me scholarship. When you keep making those things and you keep influencing your judgment, it means that you are doing the same thing that have brought you into bad governance, and you are playing it and you want a good system. It will never work. It's time for you to make the high code decisions. Success, every successful person, I'm talking about people who got successful in the right way, we tell you that it is a difficult course of action. Very difficult. You have to have a strong mind to plan and be able to implement that which you plan. Regardless of having a strategic plan and your tactical plan, if your strategic plan is so good, like Liberian, but your deployment, your tactical, and your implementation is terrible, you will never ever get anywhere. Consistency is a key component of that. If you don't learn to change, to modify your business, it means that people will come and all pass you. So you got to adapt. Smaller countries are adapting and getting far ahead of us. 176 years. Even Maserati can't even get reliable electricity. Maserati, that hosts the capital, can't even get reliable water supply. Maserati can't get reliable telecommunication. Maserati does not have the basic necessity of life. Healthcare all over the place, good network, road network, and other things. If Maserati cannot, by this time, 176 years, when will you ever expect to have something done properly? If you are tired with the result you have, it means you should be trying to change the way you conduct yourself. You got to, and one of the things is you have to listen. We don't have a listening society. We have a society that is curving, like the one of the past said, having itching ears to hear things that satisfy their loss. They don't want things that will help them make proper decision judgment. They want things that, so you just yell and condemn and say all the terrible things of people, and it becomes so, unique to them, sentimental, they just stop, that kind of things they love. You don't find wisdom in those things. You don't. You want to make the right thing. Look, let me tell you, decision making is very, very cutting now. Very difficult. As I said before, if decision making was just so easy, it means that you have a large portion of your population, over 70%, to be wrapped in actual poverty. You won't. After 176 years, you won't. If decision making was so easy, the way that a lot of your leaders came and just lied to you and just walk away, you wouldn't have even been caught up in that. If decision making was so easy. You have to understand that life will always give you those things you deserve. And to even give it more worse, sometimes some things that you deserve life, those factors that are part of life, can snatch them away from you. Yesterday, you could say, what for you will see your face. But I can tell you for free, philosophically, even in your dramatic world today, contemporary, what for you will never see your face until you stand up, you fight consistently to get them. So you sit in your own country. You are afraid of people who should be afraid of you. You make so little. Other people who can just use all kinds of profanity in you. Labor malpractices are so open in a Liberian society. I know, like the way you have a new government, you see sometimes they're going their share for a while because they know business as usual will soon come around, whatsoever thing. But just a few months from now, you see businessmen robbing the head of ministers and directors around here. They'll be going for weekend. They'll be go for the holidays and all these kind of vices that have the potential to undermine. But because the citizens are not being trained to resist the thing, you can't be in your own country and you sit down. Non-Liberians are maltreating you and you can't do anything. You don't need government to straighten these things out. No. That's why they say we need a strong society. You don't need government. If the citizens themselves know what to do, things will start getting right. You always want somebody to do something for you, so they do it for themselves and you feel the pinches. The best servant of a man is himself. You have not understood it as Liberians. You always depend on people to do it for you. You want America to come even sweep your yard. You want the international community. Who tell you say there's anything called international community saying waiting for you? Who told you that? If you understand your society, society is a literate society. Because if you have understood, if there's a wide society, and know that understand the hegemony that's going on around the world, the kind of the diplomacy that's being practiced across the globe, you will know fully well that nobody thinking about your development. You gotta fight and stand for your own development. Every successful country in this world, they fought for their liberation. You are still seated and waiting for somebody to come. You want, and let me tell Baka, don't ever try to reduce this government to a puppet government where people will dictate the terms of your government. It is terrible. You can't subvert the sovereignty of this country to another country, no matter how big and powerful that country may be. You have to give the citizen some sense of direction. Let them understand the importance of being a citizen before talking about walking to be a nationalist. If the society understands what it means to be a citizen, what it means to be nationalistic, they will not sit down and bow to everything and anything and expecting somebody will come and turn everything around for them. You will need to join the process and stand up against some of these things. When you have a democratic society, you have a government that will be prepared to do the right thing. When you have a divided, polarized society, and a disorganized society because it comes from a family line, a bad society, divided society, you give easy ride because instead of people be taking right to pressurize government to give answers to questions that the government should be giving answer to, they will instead give defense for the government. So if you defend a government that is miserably performing for 6 years, remember it's plus 6 to your years and plus successful 6 to another, those guys in government. So you see everybody going towards politics because that's where you get quick wealth. And the crazy thing about it is they are not industrialists. So the small money they get from baking and from the low taxes that are being paid by the concessionaires and other things are those things that they all fight to push up. Your country, after 176 years, you have not even reached $1 billion in your budget. What a shame. We will talk a lot about the things and tell and conscientize our citizens to understand that if this country must change, you must be able to change and say that enough is enough to hell. We must get things done the right way. Things must be done the right way in this country. You can't keep doing the same business as usual. You sit in your own country and non-Liberians are now becoming more powerful in your country than you. Again, I'm Dr. Ibrahim the Somerset. The first, I'm the executive director of the Democratic Empowerment for Economic Progress. DEEP. DEEP is a civil rights nationalistic movement intended to give rights to Liberians, to help Liberians identify the potential and be able to utilize it to their own benefit, economic benefit that can prosper this country. If the society is poor, no matter what you say, this country cannot develop because poor people never develop country. So we will take a very short break and then afford you the opportunity to please in your call and participate in this program. Is the Deep National Hours. You can go to Facebook page, our Deep National Hour Facebook page, and you can be able to follow us up on that.
All right, so just in case you want to participate, you can call us quickly. We'll be taking just a few calls quickly on 0776 927472. Are the numbers for you to call 0776 72. The program is our year on 96.1. Let's see that. Let's we get to our first caller. Good evening. Go ahead. Okay, Oliver, you are live. Okay. 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 What are those mechanics put in place to put things in order? 0707692774 Hello. Yeah. Let's hear you. Go ahead. Okay. Okay. What can we do to push our country? Give our 0776 9274 72. The numbers to call 0776 9274 72. Calls and be live on Truth FM right here. Go ahead. Yes, sir. Okay, something. Go ahead. Okay. All right. Thank you. So I will just have to hold you right there. Yeah, I get it too much messages coming because of the time and get back to that quickly. So Dr. Sellu can just respond to some of you. Dr. Sellu, listen to the callers.
Yeah. As I said, if you ever think that you will have the government to work fully in your interests without you standing up and resisting, the color red means your continuous engagement to ensure that the right things are done. Government does not want a complicated society, a fully informed society. Because out of that limitation, they amount wealth unto themselves. So it is the citizen who should start things. The citizens should start consumption here. Those companies from doing the wrong thing against them. Then the government understands the language that the society is speaking. But if you keep tolerating these bad practices, it means that government after government, until you get a very strong nationalistic, educated, radical leader, you will still be encouraging all these terrible practices. Can you imagine? Your law would tell you that you should not make for 8 hours work $145 US, and companies will be making so much money. Do you expect company involved in iron ore, rubber, and gold, diamonds, and other things to be paying people below 500-600 US? Whereas they pay suppose 70, 75, $100, and the government determine that the government is not in no hell no. The government is in the no, but the government knows that you have a very weak society that is not prepared to stand up for their own emancipation. So we say join the cause and let us work together. We'll be here again because of time. We will not go forward. We'll give you an opportunity to participate. I will give you our numbers so you can be able to be a part. We're happy for you to join the process. That's the reason why we say be a part of the movement. Be a part, subscribe, and then go to our page, Deep National Hour, and subscribe and share it. Share it. Let the message go far and wide, as many times as possible. So to call our office, that is number now, the studio number. You call 0777 28 42 55. 0777 28 42 55. Again, that is 0777 28 42 55. And then for Lone Star, it's 086 73 21 38. 73 21 38. 7321 38. That is for the Lone Star 0886. Okay, so the orange is 0777 28 42 55. God bless you until we